Zombie movies have been around for a better part of the last 60 years. With the genre oversaturated by mediocre fare that fails to impress, there are a few zombie movies that meet and surpass what is required of them in terms of gore and thrills. Today we take a look at 10 such movies ahead that are released in the 21st century.
Hey!
Hey!
That tank is moving. That can't be good.
Number 10. Dead Snow 2. Tommy Wirkola has carved out his own little niche owing to a string of cult films that have been warmly embraced by throngs of fans. With his 2009 feature Dead Snow achieving widespread fame, Wirkola returned in 2014 with its sequel. Bigger, bolder, and featuring a horde of bad Nazi zombies as the villains, Dead Snow 2 builds upon its leaner prequel with a bigger budget. With thrills and kills that torment the protagonists, Dead Snow 2 is a bigger, more bombastic sequel to the first Dead Snow. With seemingly more creative freedom at the helm, Wirkola has managed to produce a competent zombie film that does its job well.
We don't know what we're walking into, so we do what they say. Okay. They move, we move. They stop, we stop. If things were to get crazy.
Number 9. World War Z. Based on Max Brooks' fantastic novel, World War Z is a zombie thriller with a blockbuster budget. Brad Pitt stars as Jerry Lane, a UN employee inserted into Zombie Ground Zero to determine the source of the virus. As the virus spreads, Jerry's exploits will take him across the world as he seeks to find the source of the virus and strives to protect his family at the same time. Directed by Mark Forster, World War Z manages to enact impressive zombie set pieces that take place in far-flung places from Jerusalem to South Korea. With stunning action sequences that take your breath away, World War Z is a zombie film unlike any other.
Because we'd all like to check out my cousin's country home.
Marty, honey, that's not okay.
Statistical fact. Cops will never pull over a man with a...
Number 8. The Cabin in the Woods. More of a deconstruction of the horror genre as a whole than a full-fledged zombie film, The Cabin in the Woods succeeds due to its meta nature. A group of college friends find themselves trapped in the middle of nowhere as hordes of different monsters descend upon them to feast. As the group tries various approaches to break free, they realize that they are pawns in a centuries-old game that is designed to have a brutal and bloody end. The director, Drew Goddard, takes every cliché in the horror genre and flips it on its head, resulting in a film that has twists at every turn.
You're as good as dead.
Who are you?
Sergeant Doyle, Delta, rooftop unit.
Number 7. 28 Weeks Later. A sequel to the cult zombie horror flick 28 Days Later, 28 Weeks Later picks off 6 months later in England. Jeremy Renner, Imogen Poots, and Rose Byrne star in this moving zombie drama about love, loss, and the value of human life. As the zombie virus is introduced into London again, it becomes a fight for survival for protagonists led by Renner, who must fulfill an important mission whilst protecting themselves from the virus. Featuring tons of jump scares and realistic zombie makeup that will unnerve and disturb audiences, 28 Weeks Later injects heart into its story of zombie survival, resulting in a film that is potent, moving, and above all, horrifying.
What's your name?
Stop. No names. Keeps us from getting too familiar.
Number 6. Zombieland. More of a road trip comedy featuring zombies, Zombieland stars Emma Stone, Jesse Eisenberg, and Woody Harrelson. America has been run over by the zombie apocalypse, and a flimsy nerd played by Eisenberg joins forces with tough-as-nails Stone to race across the heartland in search of a safe haven. A surprise cameo by the irreverent Bill Murray adds to the narrative that sees the group make several detours to fulfill Harrelson's love for Twinkies. With zombies lurking in every nook and cranny, the group can rely on no one but themselves in face of overwhelming odds. Visually impressive with characters that you grow to love, Zombieland provides both fun and thrills in a package wrapped with gore and monsters.
Tenemos que salir de aquí como sea.
¡Yo no me muevo de aquí!
¡Salir de aquí como sea!
No,
podemos quedarnos aquí.
Number 5. REC. Found footage horror thrillers are difficult to pull off, and REC is one of the superior ones in this regard. A reporter and her assistant get more than they bargained for when they stumbled into a building where a new virus has taken hold. As authorities seal off the outside, the survivors have to band together or risk being annihilated by a faceless enemy. Deeply disturbing with constant jump scares, REC amps up the tension all the way to maximum in a zombie survival thriller that sees horrible deaths, gory kills, and a constant fear of death. With shaky cinematography to mimic the documentary-style perspective, REC is unique enough to warrant a spot on this list.
I was riding a package from Farringdon to Shaftesbury Avenue and a car cut across me. And then I wake up today.
Number 4. 28 Days Later. British maestro Danny Boyle directs this famed zombie survival adventure, which gets full marks for atmospheric tension. Cillian Murphy, Naomi Harris, and Christopher Eccleston star in this tale of survivors who take refuge in a residential building in London after the world has been overrun by zombies. With society breaking down, the survivors soon turn on each other as zombie hordes descend upon the building, determined to make the survivors their next meal. 28 Days Later is credited with reinvigorating the zombie genre after decades of lackluster films had made the genre somewhat stale.
I'll do it on the night.
This is the night.
What is that? What about yours?
Hey?
Who died and made you?
Number 3. Shaun of the Dead. Edgar Wright's parody of the zombie genre, Shaun of the Dead, is in a league of its own. Starring Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, Shaun of the Dead chronicles the adventures of a group of suburbanites as they seek to escape a zombie apocalypse in England. Full of jokes, callbacks to famous zombie films, and Easter eggs that only ardent fans can identify, Shaun of the Dead is not only a fantastically paced horror thriller, but also a buddy comedy starring a dysfunctional family at the same time. With plenty of jump scares, disgusting zombies, and creative monster kills, Shaun of the Dead succeeds and surpasses in what it sets out to do, making a new benchmark for other zombie films to come.
도로가 막히다니. 대선이 씨를 봉쇄하고 있다고. 우리도 못 들어가게 막을 거예요. 아직까지 남의 안은 열려 있다니까.
Number 2. Train to Busan. With a deeply personal story of a father trying to protect his child amidst a raging zombie epidemic that threatens humanity, this South Korean zombie thriller succeeds where most others have failed through one aspect alone, ensuring that audiences grow to deeply care about the protagonists. Downtown Seoul becomes a battleground for zombie hordes as desperate citizens try to survive by any means necessary. Surprisingly high budget for a zombie film, Train to Busan includes both citywide zombie attacks on Seoul and desperate survivors clinging on for life in dimly lit hallways, resulting in a film that manages to provide both a truly epic yet deeply personal perspective. Featuring stunning special effects, Train to Busan is a top-notch zombie film that both horrifies and inspires in equal measure.
I saw a couple of buses in the garage. We could fix them up, we could reinforce them, and then get as far from here as possible.
And then what?
Number 1. Dawn of the Dead. Zack Snyder is mostly known for slow-motion shots and superhero epics, but few know that he got his start in the industry by directing a fantastic remake of George A. Romero's 1978 zombie classic Dawn of the Dead. Starring a group of strangers who reluctantly band together to survive hordes of flesh-eating zombies, Dawn of the Dead features quippy one-liners, a great cast, and plenty of gore to keep fans of the genre satisfied. With James Gunn of the Guardians of the Galaxy fame providing scripting duties, Dawn of the Dead succeeds in reinventing the original to deliver something that feels familiar but is fresh, exciting, and thrilling. This brings us to the end of the list. I hope that you've enjoyed and agreed with our list. If you think there should have been any other movie on the list, feel free to write in the comments section. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and share this video. We will see you in the next video. Until then, stay safe.